What is going on? We are back. 99 to beat coverage. We're talking episode number 3, and I'm joined with some of my favorites. We have Dee in the house. We have Michelle in the house. We have Mae in the house. How is everybody?
So good.
I don't like my shirt. I'm going to come out and say
it. Her in the shirt.
I mean, y'all chose to wear the shirts. I mean, obviously, we have the crew here, and sadly, we're down to 2 of the crew after this episode. So it makes me very, very sad because I wanted to see you 3 just continue on.
Same.
Me too.
Same. And that's why I put the shirt on. It's the farewell tour.
It is.
She asked for the shirt. I put this dress, aka shirt on.
Yes.
She did it for me.
It's true.
And she's smiling, but mad inside.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Nope. It's all good.
Well, I was going to say, listen, you showed up tonight rocking the squad, so I'm here for it, but we are going to dive into episode number 3, and we're kicking it off with the very first challenge of the evening. We have the threading challenge. How did y'all feel about this one going into it?
I felt damn good. My grandma's both. Sorry, am I allowed to say that? Bleep.
You can cuss on this podcast, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so both of my grandmas were like essentially seamstresses, and so when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and so a lot of times they made like clothes for me. They made shorts and pants and like wicked awesome jams. And so I said this, if this is what sends me home, like they are both gonna roll, and I'm gonna have bad dreams when they come and haunt me. And so I felt good going in. I got it done fast. I'm in the background like, shh. I mean, I wasn't as fast as May, but I was done pretty quickly. And it's funny because I had somebody text me and say, I see more Diane chores coming up and you look nervous. I was like, I wasn't nervous. That's just my face.
Fair.
Incidentally, I'm the sewer in the house. I put the buttons back on for us.
Very good. Very good.
So funny. I would never guess it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
When I was a kid, I did a lot of, and then again, when we had like lockdown and COVID, I got back into it, a lot of like cross stitching or embroidery. And then when I was in middle school, we went to the Renaissance Fair and you got extra credit for like making a costume. And my mom refused to sew me anything. So she just like bought me the supplies and was like, you're going to have to do it yourself. So I definitely was thinking of my mom the whole time because she's like, well, thank God you know how to sew. So
yeah, that's awesome.
And
that's so good.
I was excited watching the episode because I forgot about the whole check thing. And like, if you know me, you know, like Survivor and Big Brother, like that's the dream. And that was my dream of being like, Jeff, check. So I got to live that out too.
Yeah. And it was like a really good shot of you. Like,
yeah, it was. You got a lot of good time.
You had a really a good episode of like
you did
shots.
Yeah, you did.
Were like, I am
this was
here.
You. Yes.
And on the hip May pose.
Yeah,
like,
I
also fell twice in those weird shoes. Yes.
There's my
I know those shoes. I don't know how the hell you did everything with those shoes. I was dying. I'm like first episode was a lot of Michelle, which I loved. And then it was like, I feel like I had more me second. But this was all you. Like, it was so much you, the yelling, the screaming, everything was amazing. You were like, you were on drama 30,000. It was amazing.
For sure. You were super dramatic.
Yeah, we loved it for you.
In the like spirit of honesty, this is the episode that I got my period really bad in London. So I was
You were locked in for it.
Oh my God.
I was over it. I was done. Like the niceness was gone, and we'll see
that
that
makes sense.
Comp to go.
That makes
I don't think you were the only one.
No.
Oh no.
That's a different kind of podcast though.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We have lots coming. Don't you worry.
But I was having a whole conversation at the watch party last night about your shoes. And they're like, why did you pick those shoes? I said, well, everybody couldn't have been Sporty Spice. I was Sporty Spice. Right, and we had to have some other spices around. And she was in wedges.
Yeah, so I had a long conversation about my shoes with Lauren in my first like solo podcast. And like they were very discouraging about like having logos. And I'm a
Mhm.
Nike girl, so
Yeah.
all of my sneakers have like the Nike check on it. Like you can't hide that. And then I was like, oh, these are like my go-to trusty dusty bar shoes. If I can be wasted and still stumble around the streets and not get injured, like these are fine. Like these have not failed me yet. And they definitely need their tread replaced or something because I was
Oh,
slipping
yeah.
and sliding.
My shoes were destroyed when I came home. Anybody else's?
Yeah. Oh, mine were. It was the first time I wore actual athletic sneakers. I don't do that, so I purposely bought some for the show. They were white and orange. Now they're like black and orange. They're disgusting from everything we did. It was
Yeah.
so bad. The
I had
floor was
ordered-
always dirty. We were always on the floor. We were always on the
Yeah.
floor.
I had ordered 2 new pair before I left because I wear the same white leather high tops all the time. And I'm so glad that I did because between getting wet and then like moving around in them, and so like one is really stretched out, like my push off foot, my plant foot, and then like kneeling so often, like it looks like when I play the kick drum like on it, and the right toe has come off, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, but at least I have 2 extra pair. Sometime when I'm famous, I'm gonna auction them off for charities.
Yes, sign them.
There you go. Yeah, signing it. That's even better. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. All right. Well, let's get into the team challenge here. And I have somebody in the waiting room that I need to bring on.
Tell me it's King David.
I wish it was. I tried. I just wanted to see the reaction. I was like, I just wanted to see Mae's face. I do not have King David. I wish we did.
I'm
but
so excited. Who is it?
I don't have anybody. I just was trying
You
to
were lying. You wanted to see who we wanted it to be.
I would be okay, hold on. Let me blanket statement this before we get into this competition. King David is such a nice person off camera. Like he is
100.
so sweet
1,000.
and supportive. Like he's such a positive person off camera. And this is truly all like for the camera time. I messaged him and I was like, hey, like sorry in advance for like yelling at you on national television. He's like, oh, good, man. We just did it for the camera time, right? And in my head, I was like, no, I was fucking pissed at you.
I was really apologizing because I meant it. Yes.
But he's truly so. It's
He
just
really
a person
is.
on camera.
It's
He
like
is. He's such a good guy. And I was just
Yeah.
like the first time we had a full on conversation, I was like, I need to reintroduce myself because who are you right now?
Yeah,
Like you're great.
right. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. One of the things that we were all like bugged out about with him was, and I told you, I think I've said it, every time somebody was safe, it doesn't matter who it was, he was there. And watching even the episode from last night, I'm like, why is he stuck to me? And Michelle had to go around to hug me. And it was so funny because TV time. And I'm like,
Well, I also have to give people the benefit of the doubt that I think that we were all just really excited for people
Yeah.
when they got through because it was a high pressure situation and most of us did not have someone else
That's
there,
true.
right?
Well,
And so I
that's
do
true.
think, I mean, because there are people that I didn't talk to all the time, but I was so excited for them and I wanted to high five them. I'm not a super hugger, but like I think I hugged more there than I have in my whole life. But like, and also on the flip side, when somebody got out, like it's such a weird thing because like they might not have been your crew or whatever, but like I feel badly.
yeah.
I
It's
don't
not a good
because you were
feeling.
one person between me and $1 million, but I do because I know how much it meant for everybody to be here. And like you
Right.
probably don't have your support team here. So like if I can make you feel a fraction better, I want to.
Right.
So I do think that there is some of that as well.
Yeah. And
I have
also,
to believe that.
and he is really sincere. And now knowing like the true off camera him, you're like, okay, you know what? So maybe he saw exactly what you said and saw like, at the time somebody was by themselves and you guys didn't get to them yet. Or like, so I get it. I will give him that too.
I just wanted to see y'all's reaction if you thought I had King David on. That's truly what
You
I was
do
going
it.
for there.
It was a
you did
good
it
one.
too.
It would have actually been fun, actually.
I know. Well, now I'm looking back going, I should have made it happen, but it's okay. Maybe in the future we can do that. But y'all were shocked. So I had fun with it on my end personally. So I'm not mad about it. But let's dive into the team challenge. Correct me if I'm wrong. You all three were on separate teams, right?
Mhm.
All right. So talk about y'all's each individual teams then.
So I was on the team with David, who had he has the best, like, the, what is it,
David
the top
Rush.
Guinness World Records.
World records.
That's it. He's super smart. I was very concerned about my height because obviously you could tell there's like a bunch, well, not that many of us that are super short, but I'm one of them. And the top of that, the slope or whatever, when I can reach it, but I couldn't get to the bottom fast enough to connect my gutter. And so he made this amazing plan that totally helped me 100%, where he would be on one side running up and then like swapping out for us. So it helped me. And like we were out pretty fast, like we were safe pretty fast, which I was happy about, because like I said before, I'm not good at thinking outside the box. And I was so scared that I didn't want to bring anybody down because I was so short. But it ended up working out. I mean, it was nerve-wracking, but it was thank God I had him on my team, because I feel like I was the most comfortable. We worked well as a team together, everybody on my team. And I'm just happy we were able to get out of there. So, yeah.
Yeah. So my team was Jay Blake, Michaela, Cara Maria, Justin, somebody else. And I can't think of it off the top of my head. But Cara's played these games, right? Oh, Will. So Will had kind of like taken point. They were like, we want you to be in charge. And Cara and I were kind of like, okay. She's like, the suggestion that I have is let's go opposite each other. So we're facing each other and we can speak to one another. And, it's very loud. So while, we'll have to like yell to hear all the way down, like you can also see people's faces. And we were like, cool. And that worked really well for us. We were actually in the lead and then somebody like foot faulted. And so then we ended up being like near the bottom of our heat, but like I never felt stressed or any pressure or anything. And for me, getting to compete alongside Cara Maria was like a big deal because I've watched her grow as a competitor, and as we've talked about, like I think she's an awesome competitor, and so that was really kind of like a bucket list wild idea that could never really come to fruition thing that happened. So that was really cool. And it was something that kind of played to what I do. Like I taught a bowling unit in class, like, you know what I mean? So it was something that I was excited about all the way around. I know like Michaela, we talked about it in the chat, like she was holding the gutter, but like trying to come across to put it. And so she was struggling and I was like, flip your hands. And she did. And then she was like, oh, and we got it right away. After that, because that was hard because you had to get the ball all the way up at the top. And so like for me as well, like I'm short. And so, but I'm athletic. So I was able to make it work, but like, it was just cool to have that moment. And then May made me, want to vomit. So like I was freaking out and pacing like a tiger. The whole rest of the time you just see me pacing. And it's funny because people were sitting down and here's Michelle just like standing in front of them, always hands on hips or like
Coach.
Yeah.
this.
That was my coach.
For
So you
sure.
can tell like varying degrees of like where I'm feeling. And Diane's like, oh, your hand is on your head. I know you're really stressed and thinking now. And then, because I was just like, I need you to be safe.
Yeah, seriously. I felt the same way. If you look at the sideline, that's funny that you said that because I was watching you on the sideline. And also, I think I've never bit the inside of my gums as much as I did in this episode. And I'm literally standing there with my hands on my hips. Like literally, that was my stance. It's on freaking the billboard. Like literally, my hands are always on my hips, just like staring. And I'm just looking at
It's a power stance.
It is a power stance. It was because we were freaking out for her.
Yeah. There was lots of screaming.
You were freaking out. I was playing.
You were doing amazing, by the way, even when you fell on your buns.
I honestly think that there might have been a time like when we were more scared because you were so like focused and dialed in and also kind of like, what the heck is going on? Get on your spot, that we were just like, oh.
Yeah, it looked crazy from the outside.
Yeah, we might have been more concerned than you were because you still, even though you were like trying to get them in line, like you were in it. You know what I mean? And you seemed real focused and not like you were freaking out until the madness of please tell us the madness. I want to hear from your perspective, honestly.
I mean, coming into this team challenge, the past 2 team challenges, I was first place in both of them. So it's like when we first started doing the team challenges, we're like, oh, these are the deal breakers. They're going to take out a lot of good people. And then I got first place in the water bucket challenge. I got first place in the music challenge. I've done a gutter ball transfer many times in LRGs and won immunity every single time. So I was like, all right, I've been first place in these last 2 team challenges. I have some pretty athletic people on my team. I've done this competition so many times before and slayed it. No problem. I walked in so confident. And then what you don't see, they rush through the first 2 heats so that they can get to the final 2 teams. And our team was like, pardon my French, fucked. Like, we could not get the ball to the end of the line to take a shot. We did not connect. People were tilting their gutters, so everything was going so fast, so you couldn't really control it at all. Like, it was a lot of me just standing there looking down, just waiting, because like you can't do anything, and that was like the most frustrating thing for me. So when I saw that buzzer, I was like, no, not again. We went out. We were in the first heat, so we got to go out into like holding, and there were 2 team members on our team that were like about to throw hands. Like, they were fighting. They didn't want to talk to each other. They were blaming each other for what went wrong, and immediately we switched the lineup because they could not be next to each other. And we're just kind of like calming down, being like, all right, like, let's figure this out. We're going to go back in there. We're not going to have this negative energy. And when I went in there, I was determined. Like, I have never seen myself more calm and confident in my life. And what happened when I was asking the girls, because I was like, well, in the commercial, it really looks like David's really just trying to go get the ball. And then I yell at him, like, why was I mad at him again? And he was like slip sliding, showboating around. Like, in my head, I was like, this guy is trying to act for the camera, and I'm about to lose $1 million.
He was trying to put Levon on his back because he didn't think she could run fast enough.
Yeah, that's when he was acting up. He was acting out like for this, and that's when Mae was finally like exploded, because we were all, even people that don't yell, like, go back on that scene and I want you to see the people that we were around. Those people were probably the calmest out of like the whole group of us, and they were like, get back in line, stop fooling around. Like, they were like, everybody was yelling at him because he was really sliding all over the place instead of focusing on where you needed to be. And I know Mae finally must have been like, and went off, because when she finally did, he was like,
well, and the other part of that is we had to stay in order. And so then you guys were getting all confused, and I was confused, and I was like, oh my God. So I was so glad when you just like took control of that moment.
Yeah. I try not to. I can be a very aggressive and blunt person, and that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. So it's like being in a team, I was like, all right, we have a plan, we're going in. And it was just that breaking point where I was like, no, like, we need to stop this right now. We need to get back in line. We need to get in place, because like, I'm not going home. And I'm so mad this confessional didn't make it in the episode. But I literally had a confessional where they asked me who was pissing me off the most. I said, King David. First of all, you're not a king. This isn't your castle, and we are not going down today. And I'm so mad that didn't make the episode, because that would have been
well, you just said it now.
That would have been good.
It's right there. You still remembered it.
You still remember it. That was a mission of the shirt. Put it on a shirt.
So this is something that I feel like the more that people started forgetting cameras were there, that we see, because we became more of who we are when we compete, right? And so like you just said, I can be a very aggressive, direct, blunt communicator, as if those are bad things, and they're not, especially in a fast-paced game setting. And so I've heard this said about a couple of people, specifically women, who have gotten loud and given directions that were in a commanding tone. And I would just like to say that I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's very loud in there. So like, I know that there was a particular situation and someone yelled to be heard. As a gym teacher, I understand the difference, right? Like, I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling so you could hear me. And it's like, oh, so-and-so yelled at me. And I'm like, no, I was literally in between the two of you. That's not kind of what happened. It was, they were yelling so you could hear, and they have a commanding tone. And so it like, the more that I hear about it, and especially when I hear women almost like apologetic about, this is how I communicate, and it's not a bad thing, especially as a competitor. Like, I just think that we need to set that stage of like, in the heat of battle, you say things and you're loud. Like nobody is worried about Braveheart yelling whatever they yell in war because it's a man in this high intense situation. But like, it's the same thing. We were under the most pressure that we are under. And like you said, this was the first time that in a team challenge, you're like, holy shit, what's happening? And so like, you had to do what you had to do to snap him out of it and get your team in line. And that's not something to apologize for. And it got it done.
Yeah. Very fair. Very fair. I've had like, when I say like it rubs people the wrong way, it's because I don't only communicate like that when I'm in a competition. I communicate like that at work, when I'm training people, when I'm talking to people, and that doesn't get taken the right way.
I also don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, there
There's nothing
isn't.
wrong with being a direct communicator.
No.
I'm super direct.
I mean, HR definitely has a problem with it. But I get what you're
that's
saying.
interesting because there are like, I could go on a whole tangent because there's 4 types of communication styles, and being a direct communicator who does not like sugarcoat things and is like, this is what we need to do, point A to point B, is a communication style. It happens to rub the cheerleader style, who like, let's say a D, who's always like up and like excited, and it's not a bad thing, right? Like, but like those two styles are hard to mesh. And so I don't know. That's just like, it's something that has bothered me, you know, and like I have to address it in any sort, but like especially under high pressure, you're gonna see more of that. And I do think by episode 3, we were all kind of like, there's not even cameras here.
Yeah, you get numb. You get numb to them. You do. In the beginning, when you first get there, there's just so many, and they're in your face. Like they will go in your face, and you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, like, oh, okay. But then they start to not stay back, but they do. They start to realize your personal space, I think, and start to like figure out like your personality, because they really got you when they needed to, and like they started like pinpointing when they knew a reaction was going to happen. So they're really good at their jobs. Because
I mean, if you think about like the first episode, I don't know for you guys, but like the first episode, man, I was like all smiles all the time, and I'm like, there's cameras everywhere. By episode 2, I was like,
no, I don't think
like
we ever smiled
down,
again.
and I'm like,
you
like my RBF's on point.
They like to cut to me, Tommy, and Melissa, who's standing next to me, a lot for like the expressions. And this episode, it went from going like this to being like this.
Right. I noticed
so
that
tired.
last night. I noticed that last night. There was not one person smiling anymore. When I first got there, you know what I noticed when I first got there, first episode? Because Geraldine and I are like the Hispanics of the crew. So I was like, and they both gave us like green stuff. So like I would look over, and I swear she'd have this pose that she always did. And like, I'd be like, I have to smile too. Hold on. So like, I'd have to like, it was like a thing. And then, but like, I was watching like the last 2 episodes. Every time in any position, even like the potato, we both looked just like terrified the whole time. And I was like, oh, great. I'm glad we're back on that like same level. Because we no longer like trying to be the cute. There's no cute after that. Like my last cute was at the end, but like it was done. Like even me with different things I was doing for like challenges, I didn't care what I looked like. I look crazy in every single thing. I don't think I had one cute moment. Every time I've never looked at the camera and was like, oh, I looked really pretty. There was none of that.
I thought you had some cute moments.
Agreed. I mean, I don't like you enough to lie about if you looked cute on camera.
You love me enough.
Okay, sorry. About the elimination round is that like after the like piggyback offer heard round the world, which you can see in one of the camera shots, like King David like gets down in front of Levon being like, oh, get on my back. And we're like, what the are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then in the line, he looks at me, he goes, you got this. And you can hear me be like, I got this. And in my head, I'm like, I fucking know I got this. Like, just get me the ball. I have such bad, and Lauren can attest to this from watching me in LRGs. I have such bad hand-eye coordination. Like, I will miss a throw from 2 feet away. It's bad. So I was so nervous about that last pin, and just like pumping myself with overconfidence, being like, no, this is fun. I was like broing out so hard during that, and just to like watch it back was crazy.
Also,
how did you crush our potato throw then? I mean, the first one was rough, but the second one, man, you gave me just enough height. Also, we have to address the Ken in the room, because Mae
May. And I will forever live under King David's crown transfer for MVP May.
Oh, that was something in itself. But in your defense, though, I know you're saying like you can't throw sometimes necessarily well. You had such control over that ball to then lead it into the pin. And I think that just comes from the experience that you've had prior to, because you've done challenges such as this. So I think you looked great when you were doing that because you knew how to control. Other people were letting it just fly off.
Yeah, they were in a rush, but May actually like you were so focused, you like took your time and you like just like it went right to it. It was amazing.
I was so worried that like I would hit it and then they'd be like, oh no, your foot crossed the line, or like the ball brushed your finger, because like it couldn't brush our fingers, we couldn't be on the line. So you see me like moving forward to where the pin is, so I'm right in front of it. I look down a couple times to make sure I'm as close as possible, different things like that, because I was like, I don't want there to be any doubt in this and have to go back.
Yeah, you did it right. I thought it looked great. And I want to add one more thing to the yelling. Sometimes being yelled at fires people up. Like, think about it. They can finally get centered and be like, oh my goodness, I was in a million different places. Now I'm focused, like it's game on. So for me, I played sports. I love being yelled at because, all right, you're checking me. I'm here for it. Doesn't bother me one bit, but that's just the way I grew up. My coach would snap his clipboard in half if I did something wrong. I didn't care. And you'd have parents on the sideline asking my parents, how does she feel about that? And they're like, she doesn't care. And that's just how I was. But it does fire some people up, such as myself. So it's just dependent on who the person is, really.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm a theater kid. So it's like you wanted to hear praise. You wanted to hear things you did good. Oh, I liked this, but can we do something like this? You know, like that kind, like gentle nudge. So I don't really respond well to being yelled at. Other than Michelle, I vibed with her because it wasn't like with Michelle yelling, it was more of like a coaching. It was like that nice yell rather than like the aggressive, like, what the fuck are you doing? Get back in line.
Well, that comes from coaching children that I could only look at them like, what the fuck are you doing? I couldn't like say it, but you could see it, but like I couldn't say that.
It worked well with me. I'm a 5-year-old.
You, Lauren, like yell at me. I joke on the pickleball court if I miss a serve. They're like, that's like, go get the next one. I'm like, tell me to go run a suicide. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, Michelle and I are built the same. We get it.
Lesbians.
I knew it was coming.
All right, I love this, but let's jump.
I'm a bisexual, just so we're clear.
I'm definitely that. I am definitely bisexual. I even got a pin the other day.
So proud of you.
I can't with you, my sweet
I
little
love
baby
this
gay.
podcast so much. all this stays in, by the way, folks. We don't edit any of this out. It's all here.
I'm fine with it. I mean,
me too.
Wait, let me shoot my shot really quick. I'm very straight and I am single. So if you have a good life insurance plan, let me know.
I'm done.
More like let me know, because I will be sifting through all the applications for her.
I'm trying to find a man. Come on.
Man.
Love Island, hit me up. Love Island, hit me up.
You never know. I mean, you just plug away, if you will. It doesn't matter. Anyone can hear something and you just, listen, I will say, if you get the call from Love Island, you can thank everyone here.
That's right.
Letting you have this.
Perfect,
We're your agents now.
Did you send the application? Focus.
Okay. I'm ready.
I'm focused. We're back. Okay, here we go. We're diving into the Ducks. I'm letting Dee start on this one.
No.
I know you don't want to, but
I don't want to talk about it again. Yes, the Ducks. Okay, remember how I talk about how short I am in every single thing? If you don't believe that was like a thing in this specific game, the last 3 people were all, sorry, Mario, and like everybody. I'm not saying, but we were the smaller, shorter ones. We're not professionals like this one over here that got the first duck and they didn't show it. Just saying. But yeah, so it was hard for me to do. It was hard in general for me because that should have been my game. Because I've been fishing since I was little, but it wasn't. It like proved to me that like literally I had no luck in this game. My hook continued to spin and like bounce off and like do crazy things, and it just didn't like me, and it just took me out. The duck took me out. Yeah. So, yep. So now I brought my little duck friends because these are going to be with me. These aren't them. I don't even know what I did with him. I may have tossed him when I got home. But yeah, it's depressing because I definitely wanted to continue on with Mae and Michelle. But now they just got to keep on going without me while I'm cheering them on from over here. So, yeah.
You played an awesome game. You really did. And you had a ton of fun moments. Think about this. You got a lot of screen time. Let's be clear with that. You got a ton of screen time. You brought the energy. You're always having a fun time. So I thought you played a great game.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I know that I have good friends around me because last night I'm like, I'm depressed. And like the paragraphs that just came from both of them, like towards me, even you, like, I mean, everybody made me feel so much better. I think one thing with me is like, we've talked about multiple times about luck. You can be the best at something. And like Michelle said earlier, her grandmothers would be mad if she lost that sewing challenge. Like, you know what I mean? That's something you think about. Like I went in, literally, they were like, how are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to do amazing. And that's the only one I was not nervous at, which is crazy to me because I'm like, my dad's the biggest fisherman in Connecticut. I've been fishing since I was 3, blah, blah, blah. And then I couldn't do it. And then when he saw it, he goes, I could have gotten that. I'm like, thanks, Dad. That's exactly how he laughs. I swear to God, I'm gonna record it. That's exactly, and it's the most annoying laugh. I hate it so much, but yeah. But the girls, I mean, they definitely did good, and I'm gonna be watching. Like I said, I am sad, and you know, I have a really good support team that took me out of my funk last night. But yeah, I hate ducks now, for sure.
I don't blame you one bit. Not at all.
Yeah, this was a hard episode because it felt like every time that I like crushed a challenge, I had to sweat it out over my friends then. And I like Dee wasn't kidding. I don't know what happened. I am not that kind of a lesbian. I do not have a granola badge, but girl, I got one that day because we sat down, the klaxon went off, and I went like this. And I was like, and I stood up and like I heard Ken go, wait, is somebody already done? And Aaron's like, oh, I think it was Michelle. And I was like, I don't know. It was just dumb luck. It was so fast. And like Will was next to me. He's like, what? And I was like, I don't know. But then like I had to sweat it out. And it was so hard to watch because it was one of those that there was nothing that I could do. Yep. And I think that's so hard because you really want to help your people. And there's nothing I could do. And they were going for the same color duck. So Tommy was getting every first chance at that. And it was hard. You could tell that her height was, I mean, I did not realize the difference. And I mean, like, I'm not that much taller than you, but I did not have that kind of trouble, like getting out there. It was hard. It was so hard to watch.
I mean, you guys could be the same height, but there's a difference. So we had to stay seated in those chairs. So you might have a longer torso to be able to reach than Dee. She might be all, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it could really.
I feel like I'm not long anything, but like I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Like me, like I was dying when I was watching it because I'm like, my legs are like wide open. I'm like my yoga flexibility, like my whole my boobs and everything. I literally was like as deep down as I can. And I'm like, thank God these shorts have shorts underneath because this would have been a crazy situation. But it was really hard. And I feel like, you know, when I did see it was Mario, right? Was it Mario?
Tommy.
Mm-hmm. It was but it was like 3 of us last. And
Mario.
It was Mario and then Tommy and then me. But it was just hard. It was, you know, like I said, it looks easy, but the chair I was like literally at the end of the chair. You can't get off of the chair. I was trying to get as close as I could. My arm. And the thing is, we could have, if I had a long arm, we were allowed to touch the top of the pole if we wanted to like hang it. Yeah, they said we could touch it. They said we could touch it all the way up if that helped us. We just couldn't touch the string.
Interesting.
I thought we had to stay in the colored portion of the bottom.
I thought so too.
No, because somebody had asked it and they were like, no, it's fine. Like, so if you look, I wasn't just holding it in the bottom. I was holding it like in the middle with my pole. I was actually like in the middle of it. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a luck thing. I wasn't lucky. I was meant to just dance out of the circle and have my moment. And I'm happy. That
did look
have been
adorable.
Moment. That may have been the cute moment. But yeah, but you know, like I said, it was definitely a luck thing, and it was over for me. And you know, hopefully my friends will win $1 million, so then I can move into their mansion with them.
Well,
I'm taking my $1 million and going, you know, gypsying around Europe. So
you need to give me some money.
I don't know what May's doing with her millions.
Somebody's giving me money in this group, okay? Anyway.
Retiring.
Dee's like, give me the money.
Give me that money. Come on, honeys.
May, how was this one for you?
I was kind of in the middle of the pack for this one. I was actually sitting right next to Tommy. And in the very beginning, he was on my left and I was on the right. He had yellow and I had pink, and my pink duck was in front of a yellow duck. So I was like trying to catch this first one and it was holding up all of the ducks. So I was like, oh my gosh, if he loses, I'm gonna feel so bad. But also like he was against D, so I was like I don't know. And there was a moment where he's like, all right, May, like I gotta get in here, like you gotta let me in. And I was like, all right, let me get down low, you go over me. So he went over like around me to get his duck, and that actually helped me secure my duck. The hook on the string was very spinny. Like
I see.
Have to reset it almost and pull, like set it in the water and pull up to get it to stop spinning, and then like hook it right in there. So
I know that was kind of what Grant had said, to like drag it along the water and then pull it out. And so that was kind of what I was going to do, but I never even had to get in the water. I just went and I got it. And I think that I was lucky because my hook never got to that spinny point, because it was just like my first, it was crazy.
That spin, I was wondering if it was from a fan, because remember in the beginning we had another, I think it was a water challenge that the fan, there was something going on, and balloons. I don't know if what was it?
The balloons with the rubber band.
Oh, the balloons, yeah, because it was that side also, right? Wasn't it that side?
Yeah.
I don't know, but either way, I'm just glad I'm not crazy, because I kept saying this over and over in my head that it was spinning, but then I was watching other people's also spinning. I'm like, I'm not crazy. I was lying. I wasn't delusional. I didn't just pick it up.
I don't think it was just one side of the room either. I saw that a lot on the zoom ins.
Yeah.
Right. And then once it starts doing that, it's all over the place. It makes it really difficult.
Right. It was bad. So even watching the last few minutes between Tommy and May, I would touch the hook and he, like the hole of the duck, and he would do it too. And it's just like it didn't want to hook at all. And I was like, come on. And then when I saw how close it was, I'm like, yeah. And I couldn't even cry. I just had to like laugh, because I'm like, are you kidding? That's exactly what I said. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? And they're like, you're not that upset about losing that million. I say, yes, I am. I don't know if I'm more embarrassed to face my dad, or if I'm more like, I didn't know. I was confused at the moment. So yeah, it was fun.
Dee, is there anything else you want to talk about with the experience as a whole before we move on to the next challenge?
I didn't move on to the next challenge. That was it for me. That was it. But no, the whole experience of, you mean just in general, like the whole competition? Yeah. I mean, it was definitely very, I don't know. It took me out of my element and what I'm used to, and like bringing me out of like my own head and being able to just do without like just going in to do things without being in my head. Like I'm always in my head in real life. And while I was there, for some reason, I was able to not be in my head and just kind of like focus on just getting things done. I never stressed. Like I stressed, but it was more towards like when it was happening. I don't know. I was really proud of myself for even getting as far as I did. I wish I did get further. And making my connections with my friends. Like, I mean, the experience itself was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I'm very blessed and thankful for everything. And, you know, I was able to stay extra and still hang out with everyone and celebrate my birthday. So I was grateful for that. But, you know, this isn't stopping me from trying to do something else when everybody helps me try to figure out which next thing I'm doing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy on how it all turned out. I'm sad, but now I get to watch my best friends continue going for that $1 million. I
love you, Dee.
I love you. My little boo.
You made my glass eye pop out.
Why do I love you guys so much? I love them so much. Like I want to be their little boo-boos. I want to like just be stuck to them all the time and be their little boo-boo.
No, I don't mess with that stuff. Every time you brought that up, I was like, what the hell is that?
Me, I'm your Labubu.
It's like a voodoo doll for teenagers.
Oh my God.
I don't get them. I don't get them either. I just.
They're just cute. I like things that
Are they cute?
Yeah, I like things
Thank
that
you,
are
Michelle.
fun
I'm
looking.
in the same boat. Are they actually cute? Because I'm missing
like
this.
I like funny
I
looking
mean, that's
things.
cute. That's not a Labubu.
No,
Like
but that's
Furbies in the 90s when
Remember
they would
the
like.
Furbies?
Guess what? I
Yes.
didn't have a Furby either.
And we need
I've
to
never
get
wanted to be
Michelle a
responsible
Furby.
for anything but myself. Let's be real about who I
That's
am.
true. Okay. Okay.
All right. Let's jump to the last two challenges. The next one, I didn't see it. Were you two partnered up for that one again?
Yeah.
Okay, because they didn't show any of
Always.
that, so we had no idea.
Oh, we had this beautiful confessional before where we're like, we both came in as singles, but we came together and we're like part of a team now. And she looks at me and she's like, let me be clear for Diane. I am still married.
I don't remember any of this.
You don't
Shocking to no one. I have no recollection of this conversation.
She's blacked out a lot throughout this
And they-
process, by the way.
They were like, so why did you guys pick each? Like they had Arvin and James interview where they're like, oh, well, he did this. And we were talking about why we picked each other. And I was like, like we showed up as singles and like we've really bonded. And we like have like a connection now. It's like, I trust her with my $1 million in this game. She trusts me. Like, so yeah.
And I was like, this feels like a divorce conversation. I better get this in here. I feel like I'm going to time out when this airs.
Oh,
No, we did. We were kind of middle of the pack.
My knees broke. May carried us. So she's like, I've done this before. And I was like, okay, I'll do what you tell me. And she's like, immediately get low. And I was like, okay. So I like dropped my knees, a position I don't find myself in often. And then I had to lay back. I was also like, I was kind of in the same position as James, but like with the runner stretch, I don't have either MCL. Like that's not a good position for me. And so we got it all the way down and it got stuck. And she's like, now you have to get up and go. And I was like, but I can't move because my knees are broken. I'm old, May.
It was
And then
hard.
we couldn't get it going. And then we got it going and it came down and it went back because it had to stop at a certain point. And I was like, stop. And then we couldn't get it going. And I was like, I can't get it. My knees. And she was like, I can't help you. I've done what I can.
It's true. It was just like that. I was there with my pom-poms like, I don't know,
She's like,
Michelle. Like,
I just can't help you anymore. I've done everything I can. And I was like, all right, we gotta get these hips and knees moving one more time. Bring it in. This is why we drink collagen, friends. And we got it.
Oh gosh.
it was wild to watch.
Yeah, I sat down and we were talking. I was like, dude, my knees really hurt. I was like, I don't know if I can like continue on today. I hope this is it because like I need to go have some, like Flexerol in my life and some muscle relaxing.
it was a lot of cardio. Like, you don't think about it. We were like, oh, this is great. We'll just like have Beyonce songs going in our head. And like, no, it wasn't great. It was cardio. You were just like jumping in circles for like 20 minutes.
I was like, I got a cramp.
And I'm in heels. Jumping.
Oh yeah, that's not good in itself for that type of challenge.
Yeah, I can tell you the song in my head was not Mr. Boombastic.
Okay.
No, but that edit.
So good.
Oh my God, it was priceless. And I hope at some point that we get a music video made about us because that was epic.
It was.
Oh my God. And it was so perfect for James. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God.
That was funny to watch. James was
funny.
fun. James was fun to watch.
Yeah, James is funny, man. He cracks me up. And so
I'm
quick.
Glad they
Quick
paired
dry.
up too.
What's that?
I'm glad they paired up too. It just made it made the television so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. But yeah, so I mean, like, I didn't like even as we were struggling, I wasn't like, we're gonna get out. Like I turned and I was like, oh, we're fine. I just gotta have my recovery, my refractory period for my knees. And then we'll be fine. And we were fine.
Yeah, some of the other teams, boy, that was something to watch.
Yeah, I saw that from here. I was watching that yesterday, like, ooh, people getting mad at each other. Okay, I had a lot of texts about that,
It
that game
was
yesterday.
it was uncomfortable.
It was.
And it was the heat of the moment. And I think that it wasn't like intentionally the way it came off at all. And so like I really do feel badly like for both of them because
Right.
the internet's a really hard place to be sometimes.
It
Yeah.
is.
And it was just like high emotion, high stakes, like not, and it just sucks, right? Like and what a I can't imagine having to go head to head with Diane.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine
Right.
it. And like the emotions that would be involved in that.
Right.
Because
Right.
I'd take her out. Like, let's be real. I would, but then I would pay for it. And I would feel really awful and I would probably cry, but like I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they say too, it's critical like who you choose to match up with because you
Yeah.
can run into a situation
Right.
such as that. So if you do decide to split, then you don't have to worry about being responsible for your significant other potentially going out. It's just it's hard. But then also they say it's if you know somebody, it makes it better as well. So it's a toss up with how you choose to go about it.
It's a catch-22. And I know that like because I stood next to Grant and Rebecca and we had multiple conversations about this because you're on those spots like all day, every day, right? Like you're with these people and in it. And we talked about that so much. And it's like, well, I trust this person with my life, but also then I could be the end of their game. And so it just really is such a like, what do you do? And so I do think part of like Preston going with Jim when Colin was available, like I do wonder if that played a part of that because it is like, do I want to take my family with me or, you know, whomever it might be? And I know that there was a point in time that I was like, do I want to be with Mae? Like, will it mess her up? Like, you know what I mean? And but like also like she was who I trusted to get done and we rocked some other challenges, you know, so it just, but those things, they do start playing with your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Rebecca talked about that. She said that she was, remember when they were talking about like when Grant came with me after, I guess Grant was like, I don't want to go with you. And she's like, why don't you want to go with me? And that's exactly what he said, because at the end we'd have to go against each other. And look what happened. Her sister had to do it with her husband. So, and then they were, all the family was kind of looking at them like, and this is why we didn't want to go together. And they saw it play out on TV. So it was a crazy moment, but. And again, cameras, you're so in that moment. The cameras, you know, you don't see them close to you. You're not paying. He was mad. He didn't care what was around him. He didn't see anything but her and what they were doing. And that's it. So that's why it came off the way it did. So.
The pom-poms were such a nice touch, though. Like the throwdown of, like, it was a great, from a viewer standpoint, if I didn't know the people and I was not invested, like this was a great reality TV moment.
And
it was, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I love the fact, it's funny that I'm going to say this, but I love the fact that she swore because she was one of the quiet sisters. And I forgot what she said, but it came out. And then she goes, okay, let's see. Like she basically became really competitive. And when it happened, nothing was like stopping her. She was so focused looking at him, like while she was doing it. And then when she did it, she was like, yes. And then she felt bad. But I love that she was like, all right, you want to act up? Watch this. And she got it. And I mean, I love you guys, but you know, it's a little reality check. Sometimes these men don't, you know, try to act up and we got to check them. And she did. And I was proud of her. So you ain't gonna make a fool of me.
It was intense to say the least, but let's move on to an even more intense challenge. Mae, hit it off with this one. Let's hear your perspective, your thoughts and feelings on this terrible looking challenge. And I want to say too, I saw your hand, what it looked like. I saw you posted a photo with what your hand looked like the next day. I mean, it's no joke, people.
Yeah, I have a photo that's posted on my Instagram right now, and my hand was like bruised. My nails were broken off, and they're like my real nails. They weren't fake nails. Ripped off. Grant next to me was punching the thing. His hands started bleeding all over the place. Jared got cuts. Like, we had a lot of injuries from this challenge. And I think what sucked the most for me is when I first found out that it was going to be 99 to beat before I went over to London, I watched some of the UK version with my family, and this was one of the comps, and I was like, oh, this is so easy. They just have to like make different sections and stamp it down. Like, that's not hard. Like, I can totally do this. I hope we do this one. Well, I got my wish. And what happened for me is I had a plan going in. I was like, all right, I'm going to make certain sections, rip it off, sit it aside. Certain section, rip it off, sit it aside. As soon as that buzzer started going, all you hear is just rip, 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 tape going, going, going. And you're so focused in, it's like, am I going slow? So I started pulling it off. I tore off my section, sat it behind me, started pulling it off, tore off my section, sat it directly on top of my other section. So I essentially made one giant unmanaged ball of tape that was not doing anything. And we were there, gosh, I think it said 50 minutes on the show. It had to be longer than that because it came down to like the bottom. They're like, you guys have 10 more minutes, and if no one else moves on, we're going to reset you with a new roll of tape. You're going to get a new lunchbox, and we're going to go from there. And it was rough because all of us that were left had that giant chunk that we just couldn't physically get into the lunchbox. And these lunchboxes, I'm a fight for a second. These lunchboxes weren't like, it wasn't solid metal. Like, you would press down and the sides would fold out, and then you'd have to like move the metal back together. I actually have in my shadow box on the wall, from things that I didn't steal from the show, one of the handles of the lunchbox that almost defeated me. I have that with me for life. So it was rough. And it was like, Michelle was talking about this the other week, I think. You don't realize you're in the bottom. Like, I was being interviewed and they're like, oh, so your final four, what's going through your head? I was like, wait, was I in the final four? Like, I didn't know anything that was going on. So.
Michelle, what was your take on the challenge?
I mean, May freaked me out. It was another one that I destroyed it, and then I had to sit and watch, and I'm like, the hell is happening right now? And it was like, I took a different approach. I too had watched the UK version, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna wrap around my hand, and I'm gonna flip it so the sticky side was out, so it didn't get stuck to my hand like you saw King David's. And then I would get to a little bit bigger than a wallet, and I would reflip it to like seal it off, and then I would stand on it while I did my next one. Stand on it, put them in. You know, I had to make like, because it was a weird shape, right? I had to make like a couple of different. And then the thing that they didn't really say is that the box had to keep its shape, and you couldn't see any like gaps, and you couldn't see the tape or it didn't count. And it also had to stay latched. And so some of the people who were punching and kicking and standing on things popped their latch off. So now what are you going to do, right? And so like, I called for a check, and it like, as she's looking at it, it popped back up. And I was like, that's cool. I got it. And I flipped it over. I reshaped it. I relatched it, handed it to her. She looked at it. She's like, you're good. And I go back, and I was probably like in the top 20 or something. And I'm looking at like Tommy, May, Danny, Grant, Miranda. They had these giant just balls of tape. And I was like, where's that going to go? And I immediately was like, start ripping that. And I was like, Danny, you have to like consolidate that. And I'm like over here yelling something at them. I'm over here yelling something at them. And I'm over here. And like, finally, like, somebody said like, I can't get this latch. And I was like, flip it over. And like, they got it right away. And they're like, oh, I think it was Michaela, maybe. I don't know. And like, I'm just telling May and Grant, like all of a sudden, like I stopped talking because I was like, there was people out there. I need to get through this. And like, so I felt like when they were like, hey, we're going to, because also people are like, I need a new lunchbox because mine is now broken. And so when the reset happened, I was like, listen, this is what you need to do. And like, and so it was just, I felt much more comfortable when that happened than watching people trying to like manage these big balls. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, you're not going to be able to handle that ball, Mae. It ain't going to fit. It's not going to fit. And so but once like that happened, I felt so much more confident and comfortable. And so she just like worked through it and went, pretty quick. And so like, it was just a huge relief.
It was a long, grueling challenge. That's what just watching it on the screen, I go, it's so tiring. It has to be.
It was. I was sweating and everything was sticking. Everything was sticking. Like, that's why, like, people were like, oh, I didn't recognize you without your maroon jacket on. It was sticking to the tape because it's wool. And then they're like, oh, she's stepping on it with her bare foot. I wouldn't do that. My socks were sticking. Like, everything was sticking. And then I was saying, like, last week with the nut challenge, I had Jared behind me who would like freak out whenever something happened. Well, this one I had Grant right next to me who was just like beating the shit. And then he was you saw him fight with Courtney's dad, with Lance. And I was just like literally next to him being like, listen, like, let's focus on like trying to like recenter, because like I said, I don't do well with people like being aggressive and yelling. I need somebody to be like, okay, here's the positives, let's reshape, let's rebuild. And that's what you saw in my confessional. I was actually on the floor ripping up my giant ball of tape, and I was saying to myself, I was like, it's okay, like, you can make mistakes in life and you can start over, and like, you just need to realize that you made a mistake and accept that, and you can move on and rebuild. And like, not only was that a great thing for me to like just have that mantra during the game, but it's also a great mantra for like real life. Like, you can make mistakes, and all you need to do is like realize you made a mistake, admit it, and figure out where to go from there. And it can lead to $1 million. So
absolutely. Well, y'all, what a recap that we just did. We almost an hour here. And does anyone have anything they would like to plug before we wrap this up?
I mean, as always, I'll plug my social medias: TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, which I'm never on. All the same. It's Mae Day, 3 Ys. Please go follow along.
Yeah, mine is at the Michelle Sutton, Michelle with 2 L's. And it's I got some things in the works. I'm looking for a book agent for my fiction book. So like, hopefully I'll be able to, show you guys and share that with you soon. And I'm just excited to see what's next.
And my social media, TikTok, Instagram, is Real D TV, double E's for everything, Real D TV. And hopefully you see me soon on other things once I figure it out. But I'm still going to be all over social media, cheering everybody on and still reposting everything and all the fun I had. And yeah, don't want this journey to end. It's ended for me, but you're going to still see my memories because they were the best time of my life. So I appreciate you guys.
We love
you. There you have it. Yes, all the love to Dee. Well, y'all, thanks so much again. This was an absolute blast. We always hit the ground running with this. So Dee, Michelle, Mae, always a pleasure. Be sure everyone else check out everything we have going with the Reality After Show. I'm covering everything there is 99 to beat. So with that, everyone, take care.
Bye.